be here sharing this information with you guys. I learned this from a mentor of mine about a few months back. I did a call already on this, but I feel like this is something so pivotal to growth and elevation that we definitely need to kind of understand the power behind this, what it is, how it can affect us both negatively and positively. You know what I mean? So I'm super happy to be here with you guys. Let's get some action moving. So drop some 111s in the chat. Let's get it going. I'm about to share this information with you guys, just making sure my phone doesn't die on me. Got everything in. All right. 7 causes of mediocrity. All right. So first and foremost, you are God's highest form of expression. Whatever you believe in, whoever you believe in, you are God's highest form of expression, the universe. You can be, do, and have whatever it is that you want in life. You can be, do, and have whatever it is that you want in your life. Understand that. Stop living a life of mediocrity. You're worth so much more than that. You're worth so much more than that, right? So the price of mediocrity, right? 95% of people don't get to live the life they want and the life they choose because they live a life of mediocrity. Right? They live a life of mediocrity, which is a life of being average, right? A life of being average. No one on this call wants to be average. You ended up on this call for a particular reason, right? No one on this call wants to be average, right? You being a part of this opportunity that brought you to this call or being a part of someone's life that brought you to this call means that you're above average. That alone means that you're winning, right? So mediocrity, there's no place for mediocrity, right? The strangest secret says if I were to go back and pick 100 people right now, 1 will be healthy, 4 will be financially free, 5 will still be working, another 30 will be retired, and 54 of those people will be broke. 54 of those people will be broke. You have to decide and go and work on all areas of your life, not just one portion, right? In order to be a great being, in order to be an elevated being, you have to work in all areas of your life. Health, wealth, mental, all of those things, right? So now I'm going to get into the 7 causes, right? What causes mediocrity, right? Number 1, write this down if you're taking notes. Note takers are money makers, right? Note takers are money makers, right? So number 1, the rear view mirror syndrome, right? The rear view mirror syndrome. What does that mean? It's a crippling cause of mediocrity. You're too focused on past experiences. You're too focused on past experiences. You're letting your past determine your future results. What do I mean by that? How many of us hear something and immediately we start to think cautiously, right? Immediately we start to think, oh, I'm not sure if I can do that. You know, does it really make sense? There's already a negative connotation. Why? Because we've experienced something in the past and we're allowing that to create our thought process for the future. You follow me? You guys follow me, right? You have to ensure that you are constantly thinking from an abundant mindset, putting yourself in a position where you're constantly just thinking positivity. Okay, when something arises in your life, how are you attacking this particular issue, right? How are you attacking this particular issue, right? You were lazy, you weren't able to succeed, right? So you're letting that determine your current success and your future success. I'll say that again. You were lazy and you were struggling to succeed. At some point in your life, maybe you didn't accomplish something you wanted to, you're working so hard for, something in life happened and you had to take a step back, or you weren't able to accomplish that. So now that's negatively affecting you from accomplishing things that you want to accomplish in the future, right? Because you're literally living in the past. You're allowing your past to dictate your future. Stop living in the past. The only time you look in the past is to see how far you've come, right? And also to know that anything is possible, right? Understand that, family. Keep that level of energy, trust, right? We mistakenly believe that who we are right now is who we're going to be in the future, right? We mistakenly believe that who we are right now is who we're going to be in the future, and we let limitation, right? We let limitation that we put on ourselves stop us from being our best selves in our life. We let limitations, self-limitations that we have for ourselves literally stop us from being the best version of ourselves in life, right? If you fight for your limitations, you're going to get to keep them. I'm going to say that again. If you fight for your limitations, you're going to get to keep them 100% of the time, right? Stop living in the box. Understand that in your life, you're destined for greatness, but you have to believe that, right? Stop living in the life of mediocrity, right? A lot of times, the people around us live life in mediocrity. Listen, paycheck to paycheck, although honorable, is mediocrity, right? That's just the honest truth. That's mediocrity. Why? There's something stopping our blessings. What's going on? Why can't we elevate? We'll call it the system, but a lot of times it's mental discipline, heart, right? Understanding that with information, we could change our situations. We're not seeking that information. We become captive to who we are at that same moment, right? Right? Get rid of those limited beliefs, right? Leave everything and everyone behind and dive into deep waters. Dive into deep waters. Who is it that you want to be? Who is it that you want to become? Right? Who is it that you want to become? We will become who we want to be. We will become who we want to be. But that also starts at the mind, right? 7 causes of mediocrity. The average person, right, thinks between 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. Between 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day. 95% of your thoughts are automatically negative, right? 95% of your thoughts are automatically negative, right? And they're also the same ones that you thought about the day before. So what does that say? That means 95% of your thinking is negative, subconsciously. It's not your fault. Nobody taught us otherwise. Well, now we know. Now it's on us, right? Now it's on us. So what do? Now you start to feel for new information. You start to feed your mind new information. That's why we're on this call. That's why you ended up, with I am or whoever got you on this call, because they found somehow, some way, new information and shared it with you. They shared it with you, right? So there's a very high chance that tomorrow you're going to have the same thought that you're having right now. How do you break that? You have to tell yourself, I am not who I am right now. I am who I want to become. I am not who I am right now. I am who I'm going to become. Because who you ought to be, you're not becoming, right? Everything is a process. Everything is a journey. You are exactly where you're supposed to be. Don't judge your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 10, right? Don't judge your chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 10. Believe and appreciate where you're at because it's for a reason. It's for a reason. The only difference between you and your goals, or the only thing between you and your goals, is time and experience. As a matter of fact, time stands for things I must experience, right? Things I must experience. So you can't afford to have one negative thought. If you have one negative thought, that's going to bring you back, right? The concept is to always be progressing. The concept is to always become better than I was yesterday, right? To always become better than who I was yesterday. I need to become a better me. How can I become a better me? By being me. Understand what your flaws are, right? Understand what you want. When you know what you want, it's easier for you to achieve it, right? But you have to literally become what you want to be, right? You have to become what you want to be, right? The rearview mirror syndrome. Stop living in the past. You're never going to learn if you're constantly learning from the past, right? You're never going to learn if you're constantly learning from the past. Look, learning from the past is self-reflection. Definitely needed for growth. Definitely needed for growth, right? Definitely needed for growth. But you have to understand that you in the present moment have the power and the ability to manifest and think about whatever you want. So if you have the power of imagination, but you're constantly thinking in the past, what do you think is going to manifest? What do you think you're going to create in front of you? How many times, family, how many times have we encountered something in our lives when we're like, damn, I knew it. I knew that was going to happen. How many times? Drop a 222 in the chat if there's been a time in your life where you thought about something and all of a sudden it came to fruition. Like you were like, damn, I knew that was going to happen. Negative, positive, all of that stuff. Why? Because in your head, you know what's destined. You know what's possible, right? Intuition is a very real thing. That gut feeling, this doesn't feel too right. Or you're manifesting the negatives, right? Like, I think they're cheating. I'm going to fail this test. This meal isn't going to come out great. All those things are negative thoughts that come from a past experience, right? Come from a past experience. When presented with adversity, you go back to the trusty rearview mirror. When confronted with adversity, you go back to what you know. A lot of times when you go back to what you know, you're going to apply the same tactics. And you know what the same tactics are going to provide you? The same results. The same results. We want different results. And everything that you do, seek different results. Seek different results, right? Seek different results. You have to move beyond your past and transcend into your future. You have to move beyond your past and transcend into your future. If you're transcending into your future, that means, look, you're grateful for your past. Look, I did this. I made these mistakes. I've grown so much. Thank you. Now it's time. Now I'm not stopping. Now it's my time, right? Because it's for me. Everything you do is for you, not for anyone else. If you're living for someone else, you're not quite living yet. If you're living for someone else, you're not quite living yet. What is it that you want, right? What is it that you want? You are the architect of your future. Your life is the canvas, right? Paint your masterpiece. Create it. You are the sculptor, right? That's only number one. There's 7. Number 2 is lack of purpose. Lack of purpose. Let's think about it. How many of us may struggle to get up in the morning? Used to happen to me. Used to, right? How many of us don't necessarily want to do certain things, right? Like, damn, I have to do it, but I don't want to. A lot of times we get these feelings when we got to go to work. I don't want to go to work right now, right? I don't want to get up, right? Because there's no purpose sometimes in what you're doing. What you're doing may be purposeful, but you're not fulfilling your purpose. What you're doing may be purposeful, but you're not fulfilling your purpose. Your purpose matters, right? Your purpose matters to you, right? And we're all constantly growing to find our purpose. But if you're not wanting to get up in the morning, I can tell you right now, you don't have purpose. You're not working towards goals, or your goals aren't strong enough. Respectfully, your goals ain't strong enough. If your why doesn't get you out of bed in the morning, you don't have a why. You have an if. And if you're living with an if, you're gonna get iffy results. You're gonna get half-assed results, right? Be real with yourself. Be real with yourself, right? What are you going out there and accomplishing every single day? What are your daily goals, right? We had Mama Mornings this morning, right? Or we get up together as a group in the morning. We share our goals, our intentions for the day, our affirmations, things we're blessed for, things we're thankful for, all those things, right? All those things, right? You have to have a purpose of self-mastery, right? That incorporates your spirituality, your emotions, your physical, your finances, all areas of life. Like I mentioned before, you need to ask yourself, what is my purpose? My purpose is to impact. That's my personal purpose. Why? Because I feel like I've gone through so many things in my life that I've grown from, that I lose nothing by sharing information. I lose nothing by sharing information and helping other people better their lives based on my mistakes. We don't all have to make the same mistakes. That's the concept of mentorship, right? That's the concept of mentorship, right? So I have a calling. Every single day, I don't always want to do what I have to do, but I do it because I know it makes me happy. And a lot of times when I don't want to do what I have to do, after I do it, I'm fulfilled. I'm thankful. I'm grateful, right? Right? One of the secrets of overcoming mediocrity is living a life of purpose, right? What does that mean? How many of us have family members or even ourselves at some point where you're just going through the system? You're just going through the routine. You're a puppet. You're waking up. You're going to work. You're at work for 8 hours. You come home. You're pissed off. You make dinner. You shower. You may do whatever else you drink. Have a drink. Have some water. Whatever it is that you may do, right? But then guess what? Talking about I got to do it again tomorrow, right? Talking about I got to do it again tomorrow. And you don't sound excited because you lack purpose, right? You lack purpose. To become the person you want to be and you need to be, you create success from freedom of mind, right? Freedom of mind. When you create freedom of mind, you can manifest anything and everything you want. If you want to work, you will create your favorite job, your dream job, right? The quality of life of everyone around you will also rise. It's going to rise, right? It's going to rise, family. But you have to create a purpose, right? One of my mentors told me, look, a goal with no end date is just a wish, right? A goal with no end date is just a wish. I'm not in the business of wishing because I know what I'm destined for is happening. I'm writing it down as if it's already done, right? Because I have my purpose. I know where I'm going. I have my vision, and my vision is big enough so my whole team can fit, right? You need to cast a large enough vision where everyone around you can fit because everyone has the ability to be successful, right? Number 3, family, if you're taking notes, number 3, isolating incidents. What does that mean? Isolating incidents. We're not staying stuck on things that are holding us back, right? We believe and trust that everything that happens is an isolated event, right? It may be a repetitive event because the universe, God, whoever you believe in is going to show you the same lesson until you learn it. You're going to continue to learn the same thing until you literally grasp the lesson. That is just a fact. Doesn't matter your age, right? It doesn't matter your age, right? Because now you start to manifest and repeat. Like I mentioned, repeat. You're living in the past, mediocrity, right? You're repeating the mediocre habits that you developed throughout your portion of living, right? You're now repeating those things, right? So you have to treat everything as an isolated event. This is not me. I made a mistake. It won't happen again. This is not me. I made a mistake. It won't happen again. I'm going to be better. I'm going to get better. I'm destined for greatness. I'm destined for better. I'm worth more, right? You know those things are coming, right? So you realize the real impact and consequence of every single choice and action, right? Every single choice and action, right? So because every single choice and action has such strong impact, you start to realize how monumental your thoughts are, how important your thoughts are, right? Everyone is on here because at one point in their lives, or, you know, rather recently, you were thinking, I need to do something else. I wish I could make some more money. I wish I want to learn something. What's going on? Like, life isn't, and lo and behold, you came across this. One thing I heard Russ say, he's like, was too busy looking for success. That's how I stumbled on it, right? Because you're focused on something outside. You're focused on something bigger than you, the bigger purpose, right? The bigger purpose, right? So every single thought and choice, action that you do is going to determine who you're going to become. It's going to determine who you're going to become, what you're eating, how you're speaking, right? How you're breathing, how you maneuver, how you take care of business acquaintances, how you take care of family. That is going to be a part of your personal growth. If you're doing something right now that you don't want to do, just stop doing that. If you're doing something right now that you don't want to do, stop doing that. But be real to yourself. Why don't you want to do it? What's the negative impact, right? What's the negative impact of doing and not doing? Are we having these conversations honestly with each other, with ourselves rather, right? It's not only the actions and choices, but it's the thoughts. It's the thoughts, right? So you have to isolate incidents. So when things happen, you tell yourself, look, this isn't the norm. No, this isn't the norm. That's not true, right? That happened, that is true, but this is not true. Like, I am not that person. I made a mistake. I'm becoming a better me. I'm working on doing this. I know that this is coming, right? I know that this is coming. Because when you miss one day of having positive thoughts, listen, misery loves company. Misery loves company, right? And when you're coming from a positive place, when you're coming from a thought-provoking place, but you're isolating incidents, you know that's not who I'm becoming. You know I'm destined for more. You know it's still there. Like, I still have time to become a better me and grow, right? And how does that work? Compounding. Compounding. You start to compound effects, right? You start to compound your thoughts, your emotions, right? So if 95% of your thoughts are subconsciously negative, and you're thinking between 50 to 60,000 thoughts a day, but now you flip that, and now you're thinking 95% thought positives, positive thoughts, right? And now you're literally manifesting from a positive light. What do you think is going to come of it? What do you think is going to come of it, right? So small choices plus consistency and time in is going to give you significant results. You're going to see the change that you're seeking. You're going to see the success that you're seeking, but you have to put the time in mind, time in self, time in body, time in health, right? All those things matter. It works both ways, positive and negative, right? So if you're compounding yourself over time, but again, you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, how are you going to be able to move forward if you're constantly living from the negative thoughts that have come from the past? I'll say that again. How are you going to be moving forward if you're constantly living with the negative thoughts that have come from your past, right? It's real stuff. This is real stuff, right? Every time you choose to do the easy things instead of the right thing, you're shaping your identity to become the person who does what's easy rather than what's right. I'm going to repeat that again. Every time you choose to do the easy thing instead of doing what's right, you're shaping your identity to become the person who does what's easy rather than what's right, right? So that means you're trying your best to always do what's right. You're trying your best to always do what's right. Okay? What's easy to do is hard to live with. What's hard to do is easy to live with. Right? What's easy to do is hard to live with. It's easy to be lazy, but it's hard to live lazy. It's hard to grind, but it's easy to live with the results when you grind. That's a fact, right? That's a fact. So you have to work on making your life hard now, right? Hard now. What does that mean? That means right now, if you're not challenged, right now, you're living a life that's unsubstantiated. If you're not challenged or motivated to live greater than you are right now, you're living a life that's not substantiated, right? If you're comfortable, you're chilling. If you're chilling, your results are going to vary, right? Your results are going to vary. Don't chill. Chilling is when you lay down, right? So now that you know that, you start to come from a place of manifestation. Like, look, I'm not stopping until I know what's there for me. Like, I'm going chairman because I'm destined for chairman. I'm a chairman. No one's telling me anything. That's my energy. That's my vibration. That's my frequency, right? But I also understand that I need to do the things to get me there. I need to move, speak, act, implement, pour into others the way other chairmen have, right? But it started with pouring into myself, right? It started to pouring into myself, right? Because subconsciously, we've all been programmed. We're living a life based on other people's rules, right? Can I have a water? All right. We're living a life based on other people's rules until we realize, look, I am in control. I'm in control. Give me 1 second, family. Sorry about that. Right. So we're in control. So when you start to understand, like, all right, subconsciously, I can control the way I want to live, the way I want to look, the way I want to eat, the way I want to feel. Right. The way I want to feel. Right. For example, the alarm clock goes off. You hit it, the snooze button. That's the easy thing to do. Most of us think of it as soon as we hear it. Right. As soon as we hear it. But that's not okay. There's a reason why the alarm is there. Be disciplined in your decisions. Right. Be disciplined in your decisions. Now, number 4. Lack of accountability. Accountability is the act of being responsible for someone else and helping them keep a commitment, right? What does that mean? That means if you're in a circle of friends, right? If you're in a circle of friends and in a circle of leadership and a conglomerate of individuals trying to better themselves, you have to hold yourself accountable in order to hold someone else accountable. What does that mean? If you want 100 people on a call, get 100 people on a call. Your team will do as you do, not as you say, right? The team will do as you do, not as you say. So accountability brings order to your lives, right? It allows you to progress and improve, to achieve the results you're seeking. They're your results. That's why we have goals, right? That's why you have goals. Now, number 5, this is very important, your circle of influence. Who is in your circle? Where are you getting your information from, right? If your circle doesn't motivate you, you're in a box. If your circle doesn't motivate you, you're in a box, right? Your circle, when you're around your circle, you need to be hungry. Like, yo, what's the move? What are we doing? Like, are we grinding? Are we chilling? Like, how are we going to vibe? What's the energy today? Like, those are the conversations you want to have, right? Are people in your circle or have people in your circle throughout your life talked about investments, talked about financial literacy, right? Talked about your credit, talk about how making money double, right? Legally. If your circle's not like that, I urge you to re-examine. And unfortunately, that means cutting off people in your family, right? Your mom, your dad, right? Elevation requires separation. The people you are around are not going to get you your millions because they are not millionaires. The people you are around are not going to get you the results you're seeking because they don't have the results you're seeking. That is a fact, and it's not their fault. It doesn't make them any worse. It just means you need to align yourself with the proper individuals, right? I had to look around, and I was like, not many people in my circle are making 6 figures, right? Not many people in my circle are making 6 figures, right? But I knew that I can align myself with people who were, right? People who were. My circle of influence is powerful. I'm a couple phone calls away from a millionaire. Yo, what's going on? How you doing? I have a question, right? I have a question. Your circle of influence you inspire. You become the average of the 5 people you hang out with, right? You become the average of the 5 people you hang out with. Who you're talking to? What are they talking to you about? Are they checking you when you're saying negative things, right? Are they helping you break that limited belief mindset? Do they want you to become a better you? When they're giving you advice, are they coming from a genuine place? And you can tell. You can tell when someone is literally just giving you advice from what they think is best. But that's the problem. All advice comes from a personal perspective, right? So your circle of influence has to change. If you want to change a personal perspective, because people only know what they've experienced, right? So you ever walk in to a room and you feel immediately like your energy is drained? Listen, in my family, I love my family. I'm Latino. There's times where I'm like, yeah, I can't chill with my family today, right? My family drains me. My energy is draining. Sometimes it's positive. Sometimes it's negative. Sometimes they don't deserve it, respectfully, right? You have to cater to self before anyone else. You have to cater to self before anyone else, right? So you need someone filling your cup. You need things filling your cup, right? If you're going to be around people, right, your circle of influence should be a give and take. If all you're doing is taking, what's the purpose, right? What value are you providing in your circle? If you walk into a room and you're the smartest person, walk away. If you walk into a room and you're the smartest person, walk away, all right? Because when you are filling someone else's cup with value and information, that means you are going to seek more value and information because you start to see other people adopt your tutelage, your mentorship, and see their success. And you're like, yo, this works. This works. I can help, right? It also, like I mentioned, misery loves company, right? But so does mediocrity, right? That's why a lot of my friends personally, right, the ones back in the day, they still doing the same stuff. Mediocre, right? I'm chasing wealth, not dollar signs. And wealth isn't necessarily money, right? But I was in a circle that thought that I needed money. Money is necessary, right? But there's a spiritual side of success as well that we lose because of our limited beliefs, and we can't see the greatness that lies within us because that mediocrity holds us back. And it's subconscious. So think about how many people we know that are great, but they're not their greatest version of themselves. That's what we're trying to achieve. That's where we're trying to go, right? Don't let your fears and doubts and belief of others hold you back and block your vision, right? So if you're a marketer, fight for the no's, because the more no's you get, the more people you're going to find that are just like you, right? The more people you're going to find that are just like you. Like I was listening to Jim Rohn, right? And he was like, listen, once the law of averages, once I realized that for every 10 people, I was going to get 3 people, I started telling my friends, like, look, I know I have to get 10 people to show up to a presentation, right? And I sign up 3. I don't mind you being part of the 7 that don't sign up. That's the energy. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Doesn't matter. As a trader, that means, I'm marking up 20 charts. I don't care how many you marking up because I know that I'm going to have to catch my pips, right? I'm about to catch my pips. Always seek people who are going to add value to your life and bring the best out of you. Always seek people that are going to add value to your life and seek the best out of you, right? Number 6, lack of personal development. The reason you're mediocre, the reason why people are mediocre is because you lack personal development. How can you break stereotypes, limited beliefs, if you don't put effort into stereotypes and limited beliefs, right? Personal development. You have to develop yourself personally. Do we eat every single day? Yes. Your mind needs to be fed every single day. Okay? Your mind needs to be fed every single day. Your mind controls your body. So you need to feed your mind just as much, if not more, than you feed your body. All right? You need to be hungry for knowledge. Become curious for information. When you fight for that information and you become curious, your level of success is going to multiply. There's different levels. Right? There's different levels, right? So Jim Rohn has been one of the greatest mentors that I've been able to copy and duplicate, right? He says that our success comes from who we become. I'll say that again. Our success comes from who we become, right? So if we're becoming people, but we're lacking personal development, who are we becoming? Can you become without information? Can you grow without information? Can you grow without exposure? The answer is no, right? The answer is no, right? So always remember to make time for personal development. If you fail to make time for personal development, you're going to be forced to make time for pain and struggle. I'm going to say that again. If you fail to make time for personal development, you're going to enjoy or attract, rather, a life of pain and suffering, struggle, okay? Number seven, lack of urgency. That goes in with purpose, right? If you have a purpose, a lot of times you move with urgency. You have a goal, a lot of times you move with urgency. Like, I'm trying to hit chairman and next week, picking up the phone, right? I'm trying to catch like 200 pips on a daily. I know I could do this. You hit the charts a little different, right? The most significant cause of mediocrity is a lack of urgency. It prevents 95% of our mind from growing, because we start to muster and hang out in our negative thoughts, right? We start to muster and hang out in places in our mind that aren't going to fulfill our purpose, because there's no urgency, there's no movement, right? There's no movement, right? It actually prevents 95% of our society from creating the life that they want, because there's no urgency. Oh, I'll get to it. We're not talking about taking out the garbage. We're talking about your success. If you're speaking that way about your success, you're not hungry for your success. I want mine. I want it all. It's all mine. It's all mine because I'm working for it, right? You have no sense of urgency to better yourself, right? How many times have we spoken to people and we're like, hey, listen, would you be interested in learning how to make money from your phone? They're like, nah, I'm good. It's like, bro, like, you sound crazy. Like, not even interested? Okay, right? Why? Because you lack urgency. You're perfectly comfortable staying where you're at. I'm not comfortable. Your comfort zone is where your dreams die, right? And the salary is what your boss will pay you to fulfill your dreams, to fulfill his, while you forget yours in a cubicle. Been there. You know what I'm saying? So be honest, right? You have to take action now, not someday, right? Not when the time is right. The time is never going to be right to do the right thing. The time is never going to be right to do the right thing. Right? The right time to do the right thing is right now. But we'll say, well, what's the right thing? The right thing is following your heart. What does it make sense to do? Right? What does it make sense to do? How can I better myself? Why am I mediocre? Why do I not have the results I want? What am I doing wrong? Am I coachable? When they're telling me to hop on calls, am I hopping on calls? When they're telling me to mark up charts, am I marking up charts? When they tell me to relax, am I relaxing? Right? When they tell me to step out of my comfort zone, am I stepping out of my comfort zone? We know the answers to these questions, but are we asking ourselves these questions? Right? Are we asking ourselves these questions? Right? It's a now or never thing in life, family. It's a now or like, look, one decision will change your life. One decision will change your life. A year and a half ago, I made one decision and changed my life. I haven't been the same since. I have not been the same since, right? So I'm going to list them again, the 7 causes, right? Rear view mirror syndrome, looking back, living life in the past. Lack of purpose, have goals, set something that you can work towards, right? It'll help you become a better you. Your goals should help you grow, right? Your purpose should be tied to your goals and your dreams, and your goals should help you grow, okay? Isolating incidents. Listen, when things happen, don't let it become a snowball effect. When things happen, understand, like, look, this happened, but this ain't it. Oh, you know, this happened, but I know. Positive vibes. Embrace everything that happens with positivity. I'm so glad that this challenge is coming up because I know I'm going to be better for this, right? I know I'm going to get out of this, and I know I'm going to be like, wow, how did I do it? I don't know how I did it, but I did it because that's the energy. Successful people are solution-based. Successful people are solution-based with purpose, right? Because your purpose is going to lead you to your solution. That's why I feel like I have the solution, because my purpose is to help people fire their boss for the rest of their lives. That's me, right? Lack of accountability. Look, you got to hold yourself accountable. You got to hold yourself accountable. Am I accomplishing my goals? No. Why? What am I doing wrong? What am I not doing? What can I do better? Am I reaching out to ask for help, ask for advice, right? Number 5, your circle of influence, right? Your circle of influence. Look, your circle of influence is going to make or break your future. Your circle of influence is going to make or break your future, all right? Number 6, your lack of personal development. Feed your mind, family, every single day. Dedicate an hour or two to some type of mental stimulation outside of Netflix, video games, nothing like that. Like, put on an audio books, read for an hour, listen for an hour. Watch up Jim Rome, right? Tony Robbins, Bob Proctor. People that are talking about paradigm shifting, masterminding your mind, like things like that. Trust, right? And then number 7, lack of urgency. Look, if you're not urgent for your success, if you don't have a sense of urgency for your success, who will? If you don't have a sense of urgency for your success, who will? All right? So, family, drop some 111s in this chat if you feel like I've been giving you some value. I feel like this is dope stuff. Like, this is stuff that I've had to grow with and build with and become a better me with. So I'm super excited to share this with all of you guys. You know what I mean? So, like, this is everything. I got a recording. I'm going to drop it in our chat. We have a recording chat. All right? So if you missed out, if you didn't get access, please just hop on, share this information. This is good info. This is good info. People can benefit and ride and rise and grind from this, right? So let's not pretend like this information can help everyone. Everyone on this call can benefit from this. Share this with family members, all right? Understand that I'll end this with this. You have to draw the line in the sand behind you. Draw the line in the sand behind you and say, I'm no longer that person. Draw the line in the sand behind you and say, that's who I used to be. Draw the line in the sand behind you and say, I know I'm destined for greatness, because we all are, all right? We all are. So do me a favor, go into all of your Telegram chats, drop a fire emoji, show some love on the gram, @Rude the Great. Let's get it popping, family. I'm super excited to be here. Glad to share this information with you. I'll be back on Monday at 1 p.m., spitting some more fire, giving some more gems. Let's get to it, familia. Love y'all. Be easy.